Hello everybody, Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and we're going to do a Dirty Dozen artist trading cards. Thought I had everything off from here, but it feels gritty. But I wanted to share a few things that I got at the Goodwill the other day. It's not a lot. This bag was full of buttons, and you can't buy buttons for $1.89, not even a single pack of buttons. So I went through them. There was some of the yarn and stuff, and I thought I'd set that aside. We might can use that in a project. And it had all of the little Ziploc bags, so I saved them so I can send goodies and happy mail in tiny bags. But I got all of these buttons, and I went and got one of my thrifted jars and put them in here. This has got a blue jean button in it, you know, that's got like the little nail thing that you put in the back. That's in there. There's a little sewing kit. This is some odds and ends, rhinestones and beads, and then the rest of it was buttons. So I thought for $1.89, that was pretty good. Hi, Janet. Hi, Terry. So we'll set this aside. Oh, and it had this little bag of, it's got a couple beads, sequins, and a little piece of blue string. That I thought that could be added to a project. And then this is going in the trash. And then I got this stamp set. I'm thinking it's Stampin' Up, but I could be wrong. Just a little note. And that and the leaves is why I got it. It says something else right there. Happy thoughts make happy days. I thought that would be neat for a card. So I picked that up. That was $2.89. And we went on Tuesday. So we got another 25% off. So I got the buttons. I got these stamps. And then I got a green, kind of a blue, and then this pink tub. And they're like dishpan size. They were $2.89 a piece. But I thought, you know, I'm in this small cottage. So when I'm done for the day, I have to shove my projects somewhere. Like a sewing or quilting project, I have to have somewhere to put it to get it out of the way because we have zero space to leave anything out. So I thought how neat this would be for my sewing projects to have, you know, one for something I'm making myself, maybe one for a quilting project, one for sewing for my nieces and nephews. So I went ahead and I picked up all three, and they're big, they're huge. And I got my senior discount on that one because 55 and up, you get 25% off on Tuesdays. And then I saw this and Scott saw this, and we decided we'd go ahead and get it. He's going to use it actually, but it's a painter's box, and it was $8.89. And I told him he can have the box, even though I could probably use it. He's got plans for it. So it's got a broken latch. That's probably why the kid donated it. But it doesn't look like it was hardly used. I did tell him I would snitch the paintbrushes, and he could have the rest of it. And his plan is to make more dividers for the bottom of the box to put his shaper bits in. And I told him, I said, it is Tuesday. We'll get 25% off. You might as well get it. So he did. So that was for Scott. I don't know what state these brushes are in. I just saw that they were in there. So they may or not be. That one's still soft. It's a size 8 something. This is a 5. It's still soft too. They're not in horrible shape. I mean, they're still usable. We live not, well, the reason we find all these art supplies and stuff is the Goodwills that we go to are very close to Furman University. So when you know, when the session's over or the kids graduate, they purge everything. And I think the ceramic studio at Furman, if a student doesn't take their pottery home or, you know, takes them with them when they go, they just donate the student work. And that's how I get those cool mugs every once in a while. So we'll put these to use, most definitely. Bernadette, I just took you out, so don't even start. She's going to huff at me. So let me see who all's here. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mina. Hi, Journey. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Ian. Deborah's here. Hey, Deborah. I think I've got everybody that I see here. So let me, first thing I want to do is do mail. I got a little bit of mail, and then we'll do our prompts. I cut my shadow box project up and just said I'll use those. So I'm thinking as I do the ATCs today, I'm going to go ahead and work these with the tape on them. And then when we're done, I could just peel the tape off and I'll have all these little blocks, backgrounds that can be smaller trading cards or something. And I did like Mary, and I divided my paper up already to keep myself in mind that some of them I have to work this way and some that way. But anyway, postcards. I got this one from Mary, came today. And then this one came from Journey the other day. And this one came from Kathy Whitney. These have been so much fun to get. Oops, showing addresses. Hang on. Whoop, flip it over. And this one came from Holly. So those, I need a new book to put postcards in. I filled mine up. So thank you guys. This is from Esther. And your paper's all divided, ready to go, are you, Mary? Okay, well, let me see what Esther sent me. Oh, she sent me a little Valentine. ATC. Says, love you. It's from Valen Poodle, 2/10/20, 1 of 1. Esther Thompson. Thank you, Esther. And a beautiful heart napkin and a llama with some cactus and some hearts. Those are awesome. So thank you, Esther. And I can't remember what I was going to say. It just went out my head. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is Dawn Boss. I don't know if Dawn's here or not, but her Christmas card came back to me. So I think I have her new address. I'm going to put it in a package with maybe with some napkins or something and send it back out to her. So Dawn Boss, if you were looking for a Christmas card, it was trying to get to you, but I think you've moved since I mailed this. But anyway, this is a 9x12 piece of mixed media paper that it's the last sheet. And this little corner, Callie decided she needed to chew on it. So when I laid out my lines, I said, I got to make sure that this is like the waist area over here because Miss Thang's been chewing right there. So that's why I decided to put lines. I don't generally put lines and stuff. Holly, I got your postcard. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to use Stacy's mixed media mashup card set. I used to watch her all the time, and I just haven't been lately because she stays on for so long and so late that I can't keep up with Stacy. So, but I still have my mixed media mashup deck. A long time ago, she offered up all her prompts and she put them in a chart and everything, and you could request it and she'd send it to you. And then I hand stamped all of mine with individual letters. So we're going to use these today. And this is the box I'd made for my mixed media mashup. And I think it's cool. There's other prompts in here, but I don't think they're things everybody has. So I just put them back in the box. So let's get started. Yeah. 9x12 mixed media, plus this is mixed media paper left over from my shadow box. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't know if I'm going to do all of the prompts on those or if maybe I'll just use these as my wipe off. But this is just to have a little something on the side. I can stick in Happy Meals and stuff. So I'm going to shuffle these up. And I had used a really old paper pad for my backgrounds on the back. And I just used all the different reds that was left in that pack. All right. So we're going to do 12 prompts. And I'm going to draw them from this deck. So watercolor is the first prompt. Watercolor. I think I'll just use that one of those blue paint brushes. I have water. I just need some water colors. Let me go grab some. Whoops, I'm going to knock that case over and make a mountain of noise. Bernadette, what's the matter? Did you find a cookie in there? Did you find a cookie? Was there a cookie in that box? Well, I'll be doggone. There was a cookie in that box, you guys. Hey, you're fine. These are just some watercolors that I was trying to start a little travel kit, and this just didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. So I'm just going to use these up. So I'm just going to put a little, let's see, what colors do I want to use today? I'm just going to put a little water in with that green. Let it set a minute. And maybe a little purple. I'll probably get brown, but that's okay. I'll do the two greens first. See, I was going to glue these down into the tub, but the plastic to plastic, it did not glue very well. So let's get our paper wet a little bit. I'm just doing this kind of randomly. And my cards have been laminated, so if I get something on them, I can just wipe it off. Still getting quite a shadow. Ray's here. Hi, Ray. Hi, Holly. Hi, Mina. Everybody. Gigi's here. Hi, Gigi. All right. And these are going to be chopped up into artist trading cards. So I just want a little hint of each thing here and there. I'm going to rinse my brush, grab this other green. Yes, artist trading cards. And I think I counted that I'll have, this is only 2 inches here. So I think I have enough for 10 ATCs this way. So I'll keep 1 and I'll send 9 out. I shared a link to a channel I just discovered, and it's the last homely house by the east of the sea. And she is just so much fun to listen to. She's a quilter, knitter. She spins her own yarn. She just does all kinds of stuff. She's a Jane of all trades, kind of like me. So I have just so enjoyed watching her videos. She's very pleasant to listen to. I just love it. And I can put her on when I'm working on something. And All right. I'll set those aside back here. I ought to keep one of those buckets for after a live cleanup. That's what one of those could be. Everything I have to put away can go in one of them tubs, and then I can just put the tub up. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to wipe some of those on my my little blocks over here. So let's see. We'll just pick some of this up. Put a little bit of those on each one of those. And then I had the purple. And I didn't wet that paper very much or any. There we go. Good enough. Yeah, one of those tubs will be my save myself from my own life. Give us a good dry. Those were some thrifted watercolors that I got years ago. I think we were still living down at the other house. And I put them in that container thinking, oh, I'll make a little travel thing, and I don't like it. Let me grab some paper towels and I'll sop up some of this. I meant to grab a roll before I came over here. I'm awful, you guys. I hide her cookies on her. I'll put 2 or 3 cookies in her bedding and I'll hide them. It gives her something to do. And then she must have rolled over on a cookie because she was sniffing and carrying on over there and digging in her, trying to find it. Now she's upside down on her back, so she'll probably start snoring here in a minute. All right. See, watercolors even make the paper towel pretty. All right. So I'm ready to pull the next one. Oh, that needs to go with the, has to be put up. But I want those watercolors to dry. All right, here we go. Number 2. Acrylic paint. So you choose what you want to do with acrylic paint. I'm sitting here, how do you spell acrylic paint? Oh, it's just been one of those days. Now, next week, I don't know if I'll be doing a live or not, so I might go longer today because I'm thinking of staying down and working on the house next week. I think I'm going to stencil with citron green, just here and there. And I'm going to just put in parentheses here that I stenciled. But you can do anything you want with the acrylic paint. If you don't want to stencil, you can sponge it, whatever. You choose the technique you want to use to put it on the paper. might need to put some more out. Right here, these are just the leftover bits from my shadow box project. I started with Mary. I never did get it finished, and I decided I'd just cut them apart, and I've mounted them on some black cardstock. Just so I have the little images that I did, because I really did like the images. I just never finished the project. And I was cleaning up, and I was like, oh, do I really want to finish it or not? Let's be honest with yourself. Are you going to finish it or not? And I said, nah, I'm not going to finish it. So I said, I'll just take and pull it apart. I did. What did I do with it? I did scan them somewhere here. I don't know what I did with it. This is what I did with them before I mounted them on black cardstock. I just put them on my scanner platform and scanned it. And whoever I get in a swap next will get a sheet of these. So that's why I decided to do that. And those were fun little shadow boxes to do. Thank you, Janet. I'll put some of this a little bit brighter here and there. I am putting stuff in the little spots too, because I think this spot here is big enough for at least 120. And then I figured the little narrow strip here is one of those things. I like to make cards with the narrow strips. If you just cut them into tiny little squares, you can do like a little window collage with the little squares, put it on a black background. Oh, it looks so pretty that way. We'll see what time it is when we wrap this up. I'm going to throw this in the sink. I'll be right back. Oh, you know what? I did. Oh, well. The next thing, I'll put something on the other. I'll just take my paintbrush and put a bit of that green on all of my little bits off to the side, since I'm going to move that box so I quit kicking it. I told Scott, I said, now when we move into a house, you're probably going to come across a couple boxes that were done up when I was cleaning up at the cottage, and I got sick of cleaning because the boxes are actually labeled random bits of sugar. And he said, really? I was like, yeah, I was tired when I decided to go to the storage unit. So some of them are labeled random bits of sugar. I'm going to put some of this on here. And see, when I finish, I'll pull the tape off, and these will just be like little tiles. They could be fun to include in some Happy Mail too, for someone to use them. It'd be interesting to see how somebody else would use the random bits, you know. Whoops, missed the thing. All right, let's dry this. Tanya's here. Hi, Tanya. I'm not worried about drying the little bits over here at all. Ugh, I can't get my temperature right. Hi, Sharon Marlowe. Sharon, are you coming on tonight? And if so, what time? All right, I'm going to pull the next prompt. I'm done with my acrylic paint as far as I'm going to go with it. Gesso. Gesso. Any way you want. Gesso. Gesso. Now, gesso could be pretty because you think about it. When you add gesso, what's it going to do to that watercolor that's on there? So here's the gesso. And I'm going to put mine on the palette knife. Ooh. And I'm going to use this little amoeba thing. Ooh. This gesso is getting close. This is not what's in here because I have Cheap Joe's gesso in a great big bucket and I just put it into this little container. Let's see here. I'll look at chat here in just a sec. I think I'm going to turn my whole thing so I can get into this other side without making too big a mess. Ah! Razzle dazzle. I am making a mess. Luckily, it's only on the other little bizarre stuff here. This one needs some dots on it. I've eaten today, so I don't know why I'm shaking. Why am I shaking today? All right. I'm going to throw this in my tub of water. Put that in there. You guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to put Bernadette out in her playpen, I think, because she can hear me talking and she thinks I'm meaning something. Come here. You want to go outside? Go outside. I'll be right back. Sorry. Puppies rule at the moment. Come on. Oh, come. I know you didn't see it. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. Just a minute. Just a minute. Sorry about that. All right. Get the random bits on the edge so they don't dry hard and poke me. There you go. Good enough. All right. Oh, you guys are spinning? Is everything okay now? I had that problem the other day with Lisa, and I finally just gave up. And I didn't think it was her. I think it was my service. And I kept refreshing, and it didn't help. Yeah, Journey, I'll be on for a while. Oh, and I didn't put gesso on those either. I keep forgetting to work on these. Maybe I need to put them over here and I'll see them better. Let's switch sides. Maybe that's what I need to do. We'll see if it helps. All right. I'm not going to make y'all wait anymore. Next prompt, paint. So more paint. Let's see here. I think I'm going to try something. I don't know if it'll work or not. I got to watch out the window too in case it starts raining, because she's like, she doesn't have any cover out there. So I'll have to go out there and get her if it starts, looking yucky. Now this all depends on if this gesso is dry, if I can do this. And it is not. So I need to dry. I was hoping the trip out with the dog would have the gesso a little bit toward dry. Jerry used to say, heat the back of it too, and it'll help it dry. So I might can make this work now. I want to finger paint the paint on, but I'm going to try to do it really light So I just skim the top of my bubbles. I don't know what luck I'll have, but that is what I'm going to try. And these are starting to give me a mermaid feel. So maybe I'll have to go looking for some small little mermaid images. Oh, see, now that wasn't dry in some of that area. Another thing I like to do this with is rub and buff, and just barely have my finger touching the surface of the raised spots. You get this really interesting finish with the rub and buff. Because see, doing it like this, you're painting mostly just the top of your bubbles. And the stuff behind it kind of comes through. You just want to be very light touched, so you're not pressing it down past your raised area. I'll look at chat here in a minute. I just kind of concentrating here. Hey, Dawn. I'll put some of this on here. Use up my paint. All right, I still have paint left. So I have some of my bits from the last time. And I took one of these squares and I cut a butterfly out, and then I did doodling on it. I wanted to show that to you guys. So if you just take some of your wipe off papers and then doodle something on it, I've turned this into a big sticker. And I just thought this was a lot of fun to do. I learned to do this with that book I got, because you were supposed to do a butterfly on the page, but my page was screaming it needed a bee more than it needed a butterfly. So I'd done this and I laid it on the page and I was like, no. And that's how my page ended up with a bee on it instead of that butterfly. But that's something you can do with your wipe off pages. Doodle on top of them and maybe punch them out and then doodle. Like if If you wanted to, you could punch some flowers out of this and then do the black and white doodling and make stickers to send in Happy Mail or something. I'm just trying to scoop this paint up and get it onto something here. We'll turn this little bit of paper into something I can use. And I know I should have that protectant on my skin, but I don't have any on my skin because I forgot to do it. So I'm finger painting with paint directly on my skin. Oh, hi, Kathy's World and Friends and Gail. Is Jaretta here? Hi, Jaretta. I see you got your card. That was good. I will have 9 artist trading cards to send out, plus some little bits here. I might send in other kinds of Happy Mail, but this was laying there, and I said I'm just going to add stuff to it as we go today, and we'll see what happens with it. All right, ready for number 5. We're going to do 12 prompts, so we're on 5. We're at the halfway point almost. Texture paste. Okay. Well, I've got some gesso on there that's kind of like texture paste, but I'll get some texture paste and a different stencil. Let's see here. Oh, I think this will add texture too, but it's not texture paste, it's fiber paste. I'm trying to find a palette knife. I guess I'll pull the one out of the water and wipe it really good. I got this on clearance at Michael's. It's normally like $17 or $18, and I got it for $7. This gives a really cool effect. If you've never used the texture paste, you might want to check it out because you can scrape it on, and it's got fibers in it, and it just looks really cool. So let's see. Let's see if I can even get it open. How about that? There we go. I don't know if you can see, but it's not like texture paste. It's got fibers in it. See the little fiber tails? So when you take a little bit and you just scrape it down your card, that's kind of cool how it's reactivating the watercolor. It does have a slight odor, I'm noticing. But I always look for this kind of stuff on clearance instead of paying full price for it, because then, you know, I haven't spent a whole bunch of money. Yes, I'm cheap. Frugal, not cheap, frugal. But this way, when you buy stuff on clearance, you can try stuff you'd never would think to try, you know, for just pennies on the dollar. Really. Now I am going to put some on my little card bits here. Okay. Dawn, what time on Wednesday? I missed that part. Because I know Sharon comes on later. She's kind of filling my old spot. And Mary comes on with her sometimes. Oh, Roista was here and I didn't even see her. I'm sorry. Hey, Nancy. Aw, I'm glad, Teresa. Glad you guys enjoyed it. All right, I'm going to have to dry this. I hear you, Dawn. Give this a good dry here. I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder if I've got a piece of blue-green painty paper anywhere that I could cut mermaid tails out of to put on here. I don't know. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Dawn, don't you worry about it. You go live whenever you want. I mean, I try not to step on any toes too, but sometimes I just get a wild urge to pop on and just share something really quick, and I don't even check, which is kind of horrible. Civilian seniority. Sharon, you come up with the wildest things, girl. Ruth. Hey, Ruth. All right, I'm done with texture. I'm hoping it's dry enough. I don't know if I can pick it up. It shows a little bit better on this one, but it's just not going to show. You can feel it though. It feels, you can feel that there's fibers running down and it's crunchy. See, it makes it like sandpaper there. All right, I'm going to peel the next one. Oh, I didn't write that down. Texture paste. Let's write that down because you got to put it in the description. I like how after you sign off of lives now, YouTube's got it where you can go straight into edit. When you sign off, it says, do you want to edit? And I'm like, cool. I can just pop these prompts in now. I don't have to wait for anything to process or nothing. I can just go in there and do it. Water-soluble crayons or markers? Well, I've got those crayons Scott got me for Christmas that I could do something with. I don't want to go crazy with them because you can't always write over them. And I asked Chelsea what she uses to go over the water-soluble stuff, and she says Posca pens. So now what did I do with the Neo Color 2 crayons? That's what happens when you clean up. Cleaning is not always good, you guys. Here they are. Sometimes it's bad, okay? All right. These were in my stocking. All right, let's see here. What do I want to do? I'm really wanting to continue with the kind of the greens and the blues and purple here. I want a water brush though, and I can't remember what I did with it. I had a couple in here. What did I do with them? Digging around looking for a water. I guess I can just use a paintbrush. Got a couple here that came out of that box. So I'll just use this other one. The water's not necessarily the most pure, but it'll be all right. I'm going to use this blue here and the purple. See what will happen here. This is why I wanted a water brush. Because all you got to do is squeeze those. I really wish I had one close. Hang on. I gotta get some water in this. Hang on. I don't know if it is the years of doing retail where you have to be willing to, change what you do every single day. You don't do anything the same every single day. But lately, I'm getting to where I don't want to do this as much as I would like to do sewing and quilting. So I'm toying with the idea of jumping back into those. And I hope you guys don't miss, this kind of stuff. But I'm just getting the itch to pull my sewing machine out and just live on it for a while. So if I do that, there probably won't be, dirty dozens and stuff, but I would just share projects that I work on. So I don't know how you guys would feel about that, because it would mean changing a lot of what goes on here, quite frankly. But I've just been wanting to get back into quilting. I didn't want to go too crazy, and I'm going crazy here. Let's go over the blues before I do the purple. See, Ruth, I think it's something in the air, because I've just been dying to put all of my art supplies up and just pull all my fabric out. I don't know what it is. It's got to be something in the air, because I have just, my quilting group online, we lost our amazing applique person. She passed away, and I'm going to miss Anne so much. I've been doing quilting projects and swapping stuff with her and Diane and all the rest of the gals over there since I don't know, since the internet started, I think, for me. So late 90s, early 2000s or something. We started out on Amazon groups, and we were on there, and then we were on, we moved from one platform to the next. And I think we still have a Yahoo group, but we don't any of us go over there anymore. It's just funny how we've moved all together. And when I was cleaning up the other day, that was another thing I think got me in the mood, is I came across some signature blocks that we had swapped in 2011. And then I came across the house blocks that we had swapped just last year or the year before. And so I'm thinking I might take the signature blocks that I found from 2011 and the house blocks that we just did, and I might make a memory quilt with those together just for me, just to remember all these wonderful years I've had with my quilting buddies online. And I feel like I've neglected them getting into the art so much. There's just not enough time to do everything I want to do and spend time with everybody I'd like to spend time with. You know, it's just so many projects, so little time. I've got mug rugs pulled out to finish. This takes a little bit to spread this stuff around, especially when you put too much out, Becky. It's all good. Put a little of it, move it a little over. Oh, there's some here too. I missed. Whoa, I got too much water that time. So if I'm not on live as often, I'm going to try to get back to doing a video. Maybe like I'll try to do a Monday morning video release of projects done. I do separate ones for different projects. All right, I'm going to let that go with that. And we'll see what happens. Not enough time to do it all. And I need to use up my fabric. So I'm going to have to switch gears every once in a while and do like some art, some sewing, some quilting, some crochet and knitting. I have yarn too. I mean, I have so much stuff. I could stay busy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of my life. I swear I could. I didn't write that down either. Water, soluble. I'm just going to put crayons. All right, I'm going to pull the next one. Maybe dry this a little first. And you have to keep in mind it's going to be cut up into artist trading cards too. So each of these will become a small piece. All right, number 7 is ink. Now this can be spray ink. It can be ink from a pen. It can be any kind of ink that you want it to be. So I'll let you guys decide what you want to do. Ink. This is still wet. Aw, you're welcome, Tanya. I took a bunch of fabric out of the cottage just so I told Scott, I said, there's no point in it being here in the way. And so I took it over to the storage unit because I figure I can run over there and get it anytime. So now I have floor space where I can lay a quilt out to work on it. And I keep watching these ladies on YouTube with their design walls. And I told him, I said, I have to have a workshop where I have one end is for quilting and one wall has to have no windows on it so I can cover it with batting and I can create a design wall. And that will just make me so happy. I have bottled ink. I'm going to go get some of that real quick. Ink. Yeah, it goes back to the, you should never clean because then you can never find anything. Let's see. Let's see. Where are those? Oh, there. Right in front of you, Becky. Let's see. This is some of that Rare Reese glitter ink. I'm going to try some of that. And I'm going to use this, what do they call this? It says light blue. But I don't know if anybody else bought any of this when it was on clearance last year. But the glitter really settles in the bottom. And this stuff comes out so fast. I think I'm going to just kind of run it so it'll run down it. My poor lady I drew on my table is going to get all covered with stuff. The thing about this ink is it will it'll spread all over the surface of it. Like when I clear coat this, it'll be all glittery, but it'll be all right. I guess we'll just make it happen here. Pick it up on my little scrap paper here. I keep hoping that all of this is not going down through this paper because this table belongs to my sister-in-law. I think, let me get, certainly 3 of these will be enough. I'm just going to pick some of this back up. It's definitely very fluid because look at how it absorbs into a paper towel. This will be a pretty paper towel because that glitter is very glittery. Surprised it's not messing with the camera. Oh, Howard's at the door. He's so big. He stands up on his hind legs, and sometimes it sounds like there's a person at the door going, bam, 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 bam. All right. Everybody got their ink on? Hi, Cheshire Cat. I'm missing people. Is Janice here too? Hi, JL. Hey, Laura. Cheryl. Hey, Suze. I've missed a whole bunch of you guys sneaking in here. Rowesta said she had to go sleepy. Yeah, it's in the middle of the night for her and Linda McAllister. I want to make quilts for nieces and nephews that have gotten married, and one of my nieces is expecting her first baby, and my mom was telling me this morning that some teenage girls ran into the back of her and her husband, and she had to go to the hospital and have all kinds of ultrasounds and stuff, but her and the baby are okay, so that's good to know. Hey, Sharon Lombard. All right, so that was number 7. I'm going to pull number 8. Add paint or ink splatters or drips. Splatters or drips of paint. What color should I splatter on here? What color do you guys think? I'll do whatever you guys say. First one to say a color, I'll do that. Oh, sweet, Laura. Oh, what is Susan? It's just hard for me to look over at the chat all the time. Oh, Tanya, thanks for the comment about you'd watch paint dry. Ruth, I think that's another thing is I miss working with the fabric. And I'm really leaning toward maybe doing some art quilts. These are mixed media mashup cards that I did with Stacy at Pink Poodle Crafts several years back. Ruby Lockwood is fabulous for quilting. I'm just looking back at chat, you guys. I would love to swap 6-inch 6x6 fabric pages with anybody that wants to. I would like to fill my little book up that Lisa gifted me. I came across it the other day too. I like to do a 6-inch piece of felt and then build up fabric and embellishments on that, because then I can glue the whole felted and put together page right into my book really fast that way. Okay, I'm down to where Sharon came in. Red or green? Lime green, green, gold. Okay, let me see who was first. So Sharon Lombard says green. Okay. Let me go see what I can grab here. I need this. I need a fan brush. I need a spray bottle. And a green. I'm going to use classic green. Oh, let me let Howie in. He's knocking. Sorry, buddy. What? All right, go get you a snack and then eat like 3 pieces and then be ready to go back out, as you always do. These cats, they rule me, I think. My niece and her partner had somebody dumped some pit bull mixes on their front porch. They found a home for one, and they said, anybody else want this one? And I said, congratulations on your new dog. So, yep. They've named her Penny, and she's staying. Kathy says she'll swap with me. Okay, Kathy. Awesome. I'll do up a page and send it to you. Do you want yours 6x6 square too, Kathy? I don't have anything to cover this computer with. Not that it really matters because it's already sparkly and pretty and all that good stuff that a computer shouldn't be. Trying to get enough of it covered that I'm... Uh-oh. My deck of cards has been laminated, so I don't have to worry about them getting splattered because it'll come right off. Thank you, Janet. I missed something. What did Janice say? Oh, Janice, tell him that if he won't let you go get it, bring you some down. Howard's like, this doesn't belong here. I want to go out. You've moved things. Hang on. I told you guys he eats like 3 pieces and then he wants to go back out and sit by the dog. It's not raining. She's fine out there. Come on. Go sit with her. I need to share that picture I took of him laying next to the dog's playpen because she was crying when I was loading stuff up to take to the storage unit, and she started that. You know how dogs will do that, like that. Well, I look up and the cat's over there laid out like she's crying. Can't you hear her crying? Put green next to this. All right, I'm going to need to dry mine real quick. So I'm getting it. They're too wet, and so 6x6. Okay, great. Oh, goodness, Janice. Suze, do you want to swap? Do it online. I'll swap. Hi, Athena. Uh-oh, I missed something. I went to read and everything. Well, I used the, what did I say that was? Classic green. I think I have something that's kind of like mint green, but too late now. My quilt fabric is in tubs under the bed in the bedroom. That way I can just slide a tub out, look for what I want, and I can design on the bed. I can put fabrics together, make the bed, and then I can lay everything out. The only thing is, then I have to put everything up before we can go to bed. Cat herding. You have a cat that lays with a dog. You know, when I first brought the dog up, they didn't want anything to do with the dog at all. And then it was like Howard, like now is if he's in here, he's sound asleep. If he hears me put her collar on to take her out, he will run to the door with her and they walk side by side in the yard. It's the craziest thing. I've never seen a cat love a dog this much. Oh, Suze, you don't know how. Okay. I'll show you. We'll see what we get into. Let's finish these up. We might do something else. Like I said, I might stay on longer today because next Wednesday I'm going to be working down at the house, and I'm going to take the equipment with me to do a live, but it will depend on what. I'll take my art bag with me, so I'll have limited supplies with me. So I don't know what we could get up to. I'll review my bag before the weekend because I'll take it down, but I'm going to stay down, work on the house. And then the next Saturday is our voting time that we have to do on Saturday. And then after we vote, Scott and I are not working on the house. We're just going to jump in the car and either come back up here straight home or go do something, maybe go visit my parents. I don't know. We haven't really decided. Because that's the following weekend is our weekend not to work on the house, especially since I'm planning to stay down and work on it all week. I will be ready to go by then. All right, that's probably good enough that we can go on. Oh, there goes a bus. All right, so we're on 9. Here we go. Use stamps. Okay, I think I want to use kind of an all over stamp, and it's not going to reach the paper everywhere because we have all that texture on there. So it needs to be something that can just be just a hint of something here and there. So let me see what I can find. He's sitting right next to her out there in their yard, you guys. Oh, I like this one. Woo! This is one I got on clearance. No, I got it at thrift store for 89 cents. It looks like woven material. And I will do that with some Stays On ink. I think I'm going to use Timber Brown instead of, a foam stamp might work better. Let me see how this does. I'll put some foam up under this. That'll help some. Let's see here. Let's see what we get. It reminds me of gingham. It's like a little girl's gingham dress. Well, for anybody that hasn't heard, the little girl that was murdered not too far from our house down there, it turns out it was a neighbor, and he killed himself. At least that's what they're thinking. All right, I'm gonna set that aside and put some on my little bits too. So I'll slide these on here. This is my stamping foam, so I don't care if ink, I don't care if ink gets on it. Move these closer. Cool. On Pink Poodle Crafts, Stacy is where I got these prompts that I'm using right now. And I don't know if she has them in her, does she have a group? I can't remember. But that's where I got my prompts. But I know that what a lot of people will do, you guys, for their prompts is they'll just go through the supplies they have, write down the supplies they have, and then maybe some of the paint colors they have, and some of the products they have, all of that kind of stuff. And then they just make up cards that way. And that way, if you make up your own deck from with the supplies you have, then you'll be guaranteed to always have whatever you draw, and you won't have to make any substitutions like some people have to do. That stays on ink, so I'm not too worried about it coming totally off anyway. All right, so there's those. Bring this back. Yes, they found her. They had searched the area and did not find her. And then a couple days later, they found her, and then they found a body of a 30-year-old man dead in his house. So they think he had her, and the police were all around there, and I guess he killed her because he figured he couldn't get away, and then, killed himself from guilt. Okay, Athena says Stacy has a group, and you might want to go to Stacy's group and ask her if she still has the list of her mixed media mashup cards. I don't know if she still has them online or not. Now, let's see. That one was use stamps. Use stamps. Janet, you're doing better at getting these on here than I am at writing them down on a piece of paper next to me. And Holly's got them going up there too. He wasn't an actual neighbor. He lived in the apartments near the housing community. Jarita, that sounds cool. I'd love to see that quilt with the denim. That would be really awesome. I was telling Scott, my heart just aches for her mother. I just can't imagine. Yeah, Tanya, whatever you have, you can make up your own prompts and use more household items. Like I think I've shown my bin of stuff before, but I can show that again. And if it looks like it'll make a mark and it's going to be heading to the trash anyway, I throw it in my bin of stuff. Like I've got, if you look at flip-flops, they have different things on the bottom of them. Old yoga mats cut up can be glued onto a piece of cardboard and turned into a foam stamp. Yeah. Okay, Athena says that Stacy has a list of the prompts I'm using now for mixed media mashup in her files section in her group. So look up, I think it's Pink Poodle Crafts. Okay, I think I'm. Bye, Sharon. I'll stop over later. But I've got curlers in there. I've got jar openers, silicone pot holders that you can get like at the dollar store. Anything like that that'll make you can dunk in paint and then put down makes really cool backgrounds. Pink Poodle Pack Playground is Stacy's group, you guys. All right, let's do 10. Quit yammering. Ooh, it says paper. So add some paper. Paper. Okay, let me pull my bin out here where I can get to it. I've got a bin of scraps under the table here. I think that's all tissue paper, and it just says paper. All right. I think this is from a mixed media mashup I did with Stacy. So I think what I'll do is punch some circles out and glue them down onto my stuff. Circles. Should I do circles? Circles would be cool. Uh-oh. It doesn't like, this has got that fiber stuff on it too. Well, I got one punched out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, come on. 6. 7. Let's see if I can get this one out. Oh no, don't stick. Oh no. I might have to finish that one with a pair of scissors. We'll clean that one up. Oh, come on. Yes, I hit my things on the table when they're aggravating me. All right. Let's see. Scissors. These won't be perfect circles because the punch did not like it did not like the texture paste and the fiber stuff that I have on here. But I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how this will look, but we'll see here in a minute. And if you want to rebel from a prompt, you can. Mary does it all the time. All right. And see, I'm going to save those because there's still really cool bits on there. Right. I don't have any to add to that because I don't want to fool with it. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to use my quick dry too. Embrace the imperfections. There you go. I wonder what I did with that piece of wood Scott gave me that's like really heavy. Oh, I hate when I clean. I can't find anything. There it is. One of these days I'll have a studio and it'll still be a wreck. I'm trying to put these down just where they'll glue down nice and even because of all that texture paste and stuff. Because I figure I can turn my ATCs, you know, in different orientations if I need to. And the reason this looks so glossy on here, that's got embossing powder on it. So like if you put wet paint down and then sprinkle a clear embossing powder on it and heat it up, you can do that and get a really cool effect that way. Just with wet paint even. At least I've found. Haven't had a problem with it. Or even just glue. Put some glue down. I did that with wet paint though. This one over here is not big enough for an ATC. So that's why I didn't try to. I just wanted to punch out just enough for the artist trading cards that I'm going to make. I might have some fun with this. We'll see. Turn these into beach balls maybe or something. This one's got honeycomb on it. One more, and I'll have them all glued down. Well, my channel is Aunt Beck's Creations. So anything I create is one of my creations. So I figure, you know, some will come for the sewing and some won't. Some will come for the art and not, you know, not sewing. And I understand that. I'm just one of those eclectic individuals that has to jump from one thing to another or I get bored. Let's try to get up some of this excess glue. Squish it out of there and make sure it's not going to stick out. So that was number 10. This is, I start off with, it reaches a point where I say, ooh, this looks like mermaid. Now it looks nothing like mermaid to me. I don't know. Psychedelic sky. I don't know. We'll see what it turns into. And I don't know if I'm going to want to clear coat these now after we do prompt 12 or cut them apart and do a little bit more on each one and clear coat the bases individually. It's so much easier to do it when it's in one big sheet than to do individuals for me. All right, there we go. Just random circles on a paper. All right, I'm going to pull number 11. Let me see. Journey's back. Welcome back. Exactly, Mina. I've cleaned up and now everything's like put up and it's like, ooh. And then I hear my grandmother in my head saying, have a place for everything and keep it in its place. And then you won't have to waste time looking for things. And I'm like, yeah, Ma, yeah. Aw, thanks, Laura. Clear coat. I'll show you the one that I've been using lately. And I've taken to putting it on with a brayer roller instead of a brush because a brush moves the stuff that's down on the page so much more than a brayer does. But I use this Deco Art Americana Dura Clear High Gloss. Now I know I was using another one that's a little bit more expensive that Dee Dee was using, and they both work the same. And this one saves me, and I can use a coupon at Hobby Lobby because this one's like, I think $2 cheaper than the other one. And at this moment in time, I cannot remember the one that Dee Dee uses. But what I do is I put this down, I just squirt it around, and then I just roll it this way, roll it that way, walk away, leave it to dry on its own for a couple days, and then it's good to go. And I'll add embellishments and a quote or something to it. It just gives it a really pretty finish to clear coat. Those that pinch together kind of punches, I really like them if you have the right weight of paper. But like you saw how I was struggling where this has been embossed. It's got the fiber paste on it and everything. And it just didn't want to cut through it. So number 11, Mary's probably going, next. It's not necessary. I just like to have, I put the clear coat on to protect the artwork from fading or getting damaged in any way. It just puts a protective coating over it. Oh man. This is paint or ink sprays, and we've already done so many paint and ink. I'm going to say that's the prompt, but I'm going to pull another one for an alternate, okay? If I don't like the alternate, I might come back to this one. And then I'm going to put an alternate underneath here was tape. Okay. Well, I guess I'll do paint or ink sprays because I don't want to put tape on these. So I'm going to leave that up to whoever's working along with me. I'll just get some sprays. We'll spray something on it. Let's see here. Here we go. Let me, yeah. Let's protect the computer this time. I've got my clean, my clean. This is clean. It went through the laundry, honest. And those won't matter if they get a little yucky because I can wipe them off. I'm just going to use some Distress ink. Oh, I should have wiped that off. I know. Wipe off your nozzles or they'll clog up. All right, I'll pull that piece of paper towel we pulled stuff up with earlier. We'll pull some of this back up. All right. Ooh, that sparkly's sparkling through. And I'm going to go ahead and pull number 12. Add porous elements. And an alternate for that is add words or quote, and that'll be the one I use. Or you can use either one of those. For the add porous elements, you could use lace or any of that kind of stuff. Add porous elements. Or an alternate is add words or quotes. And generally what I do for words or quotes is I'll go on to Pinterest and I'll pull some off from there. I think I'm going to go ahead and just cut these apart and see I've got these little backgrounds. I could do something with these. Set them over there for right now. I'm going to cut these apart so you guys can see the ATCs cut apart. So this way I had marked it 3.5. And these were marked at 2.5. And I think I'm going to add borders. Didn't cut all the way through. It's probably because I have that fiber paste on here. I'll just turn it over and put this at 2.5. There we go. See, and then this piece here to make some cards, I'll cut these like maybe into little 1-inch strips. Probably should have clear coated these if I was going to clear coat them. I'll just use them like this. If you cut these into little 1-inch strips and then get you a black piece of paper to create a card front on. Maybe we'll make a card together real quick with our bits. I'm cutting these up so that they're all cut up and ready to go. What is that? Don't let anything go to waste. Use every bit of it, right? All right, so there should be 12 pieces there of that. And then I'll finish cutting these into ATCs. So there's an ATC. Three and a half, three and a half. 3 1/2, and then see I've got another little piece here that's I could use on a card too. 3 1/2. And then these are trimmed at 2 1/2 because they go the opposite way. So I don't know if anybody wants to watch me create ATCs, but I'm going to keep going, and that way, for anybody that's new and doesn't know about ATCs, they'll see how they're put together. Okay, let's see, how big is this way? 1 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches. Can you hear Howard? He's at the, I'm going to trim this down to 1 1/2 this way. That'll give me some more pieces for that. And then this way, it's 2 1/2 inches. I'm trying to get 3 the same size so we can do a card with them. And then we'll have these random bits here. All right, let me go see about Howard real quick. Cat herding. Yes, dear. Not raining. She's fine. She's fine. Your cat dog is fine. Let's see. So I've got a piece of black. I'm going to do the cards next, and then we'll do the ATCs last, okay? All right, so you've got your leftover bits from making artist trading cards. I'm going to make some card bases first at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is half of an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet. So if you just cut this at the 5 1/2, you get 2 cards. So I only needed one sheet because we're only going to make 2 cards, I think. And then I'm going to fold this in half, but since I have a scoreboard, I'm going to use it and score this at the 4 1/4. If you get a fingerprint or something on a card from me, it's because I'm doing cards right after doing a dirty dozen and my hands are filthy. And it proves they're handmade. Now, if I was selling them, I would make sure I was more careful, but I'm just trying to do this on the fly here. All right, so we got those two. All right. Let's put that back over here. All right, so now we've got our pieces of these. So if the front of our card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I'm going to make a mat out of the black at 4 by 5 1/4. So I take a 1/4 inch off from each of the card sides. So this would be 5 1/4 by 4. All right, so now we've got mats for the cards. So I'm going to make them so they open this way, I think. Okay, so we got those. I'm going to use these. I'm actually going to do this one so it opens from the bottom. And you can just put these 3 on here and just space them so they have mostly the same amount. If you really wanted to get, perfect, you could get a ruler out. I never do that. So you could do like that for that one. And then on this one, you could take your little bits that are 1 inch by, I think, 1/2. Yeah, by 1/2 inch. So these are 1 by 1/2. And you could just do them the same way. You could almost make 2 cards and just use 6 of these. Or if you wanted to, you could use more of them and offset them so it looks like a 1970s door. Who's that knocking at the door? Like something like that. You can play with these and put them on there any way you want to. And that's how you use up all your bits. You could cut these into the same kind of shapes. Maybe cut this into a 1/2 inch, and then you'd have a couple of those there. So you could do another card. And before I put these down here, I would take a marker, a black marker, and just go on the edge to cover the white paper. You're getting kind of a bonus here, card making and artist trading cards. And see, I'll do this to all my artist trading cards too. Blacken out the edge. That way, these kind of just blend into the background. See, now Howard's going to play with the blinds. I think he's tired of watching the dog. He would like me to bring her in, but she's fine. It's not raining. Okay. I'm convinced if Howard had the option of a doorbell, he would love it, except we would never get any rest because he'd play it all the time. He loves to knock on the door. Howard, do you want to go out? Okay. I'm going to set those aside. So if I have your mailing address, I like to just pop things in the mail and surprise people. I've got to let him out because he's going to be so naughty. I'm coming. I'll come get her in a little bit. She's okay. He's probably thinking, you don't understand. I'm sick of watching the dog. I want you to take her. And I'm noticing something that the fiber paste is doing. It's kind of drawing not only the paper, but I think the fiber paste is absorbing some of the black ink. So it's coming up onto the pieces of card, which is kind of cool. And while I got the marker out, I'm going to do my ATCs at the same time. Oh, I'm not even in shot. I'm sorry. I'm just going on the edge. And what I do is I make sure the white part, the back part of the pieces are facing me. So when I go along the edge, if I slip toward the back, and the mark is on the back, not on the piece of art or scrap that I'm working on. Because if you slip down the other side, then you end up with a big old black mark down the front of your card. All right. I just like to do this because it kind of finishes it out. And oh, there's a piece of something right there. And I think I'm going to take my ruler and put a narrow edge on the edge of these as well. Let me do the outer edge first. And I might even use like a Stabilo all pencil to go around the circle to give it kind of a shadow behind it. So I've been trying to cook up extra food so Scott can feed himself when I'm not here next week. I think it's so funny, the number of people that say they'll come help us on the house. And they're constantly asking for updates. And I tell them when we're going to be down there working on the house. Never any volunteers for the weekends that we're down working on the house. But isn't that how it goes? I mean, Scott and I are used to it, though. Scott would quite frankly rather just do it all himself because he's a perfectionist. I have a feeling he's going to be hard to deal with when he's really old. What have I signed myself up for, right? All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Aren't these awesome? I love they just make a job go by so quickly. This paper I'm using came out of a pad, and I don't think I got all of the little bits cleaned up on a couple of these. All right. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to set the cards aside for just a second, is take my ruler and just expose just a little bit of the edge of the ATC, and then use my fat marker to go down the edge. Of course, where the bubbly things are, it's not a perfect edge, but I guess you could do this with paint too if you wanted to, tape it off or something. You can tell I can't see worth beans at this angle. Here we go. Yeah, see, doesn't that look cool? When you put an edge on it, see the difference that just putting a little border on, how different they look? I think I'll do that on each of these. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here, but if I finish these up, I can get them on in the mail to some people. I was looking to see who all I have as mods. I think Lisa's one, and Tanya. I think Tanya's one, and Mary, and Janet, and Holly. But I was looking to see where the list is of my mods, and for the life of me, I can't seem to find it on YouTube. Isn't that awful? But if you're going to do lives, it's important to have mods, I think. That way you have somebody looking out for you when you're busy working a project. Is if you have a couple mods in there that can like kick people out that are being, rude or, nasty. Oh, I slipped too. This has got black marks all over it from where I do this. So you go this way. That's a good idea. Let's see. That's a good idea. Whoops. The gesso bits are making it hard for my marker to get all the way down on the paper. Yeah, I think more than anything, I'm getting the itch to feel fabric and sew and that kind of stuff these days. I don't know why. It's been a while since I've gotten into sewing. I got plenty of stuff to sew. Well, I don't seem to be. Maybe it's the markers running out of juice. Let's see here. We'll grab another one, see if it does any better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Much better. Sometimes it's like you're beating your head against the wall for no reason. It's just you need to open a new one. Oh, I've been chimed at. Hi, Janice. She's the one that told me to turn the ruler over. Yeah, Sharon will be 7 Central, so that's 8 my time. It is 5 o'clock now. I've been on for 2 hours. This doesn't seem like it's been 2 hours. So yesterday, y'all will laugh at this. We went out and about. We went to Goodwill, and then we went to China Star for lunch. And all day, I was fighting my blouse, fighting my top all day long. I was like, why won't this blouse stay down? Well, after Scott had left for work, I figured out why. My shirt was on backwards. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been walking around with my shirt on backwards all day. No wonder it wouldn't stay down. My neck and back were working it up all day. It's only 3 o'clock in Arizona. It's starting to get like it's getting ready to be night here. Let me try this back the other way because I'm having trouble getting it to touch the card. It keeps going up on the ruler all the way. I've only got 2 more of these, and then I'll put the cards together, and I'll have to go in search of a quote or word. Maybe I'll do a standalone video of putting a fabric page together. Maybe I'll do a standalone video doing that of a page I'll send to Kathy. That's what I can do. And that way I'll get Kathy's page built, and I can show how they're done at the same time. But I do want to finish these 2 cards. I really have enjoyed getting the postcards from Dirty Dozens and stuff. If you know what I could do for next week is we could use just the supplies I have in my bag, and I'll take a page out of my Pick 10 journal down there, and we would have to utilize just what I have in my backpack, my art to go bag. We might could do that, and then that way we could do a page next Wednesday. It would give me something to look forward to that was not house related. And then next Thursday, I probably wouldn't do a live because since I'm down there, I really need to, bust a move on this gigantic list we still have yet to do. And maybe I'll do a little video taping along the way as I'm working. I could put it all to music and you could watch me in sped up version, clearing the garden, mowing the lawn, that kind of stuff. That could be funny. It'd be different. Oh dear. This one's starting to get dry too. I guess it's just because they're open to the air. Last one, last line. All right, I'm going to finish the cards, and then I have an idea for the ATCs real quick. Mina, my quilt group, somewhere in storage, we did tiny little blocks of crazy quilting, and Anne worked on that too. And I was thinking I would just frame that piece. When we get settled, I'll have to share it. But yeah, I've done some crazy quilting too. Basically, if it's out there, I've probably tried it at least once when it comes to handwork, handy, crafty, arty stuff. All right. I'm just setting these down here to give my mind an idea of what it needs to be. I'm going to glue these down. I do have a Facebook group, but it's just a small group. I just have it small because it's what I can manage. But I'm also in Phibbsville, and that's where I've been encouraging everybody to go because my Facebook group is all I can handle right now with the number of people I have in it. But I'm always on Phibbsville. I have in the past, and I plan to in the future, put some swaps and things up on Phibbsville. So Janet, if you could pop in Phibbsville, that'd be great. I've just quit adding anybody to Aunt Beck's Creations because I'm in so many groups that I can put swaps up in in the larger groups and not have to mess with mine quite so often. Yeah, that was blooper reel from Mary was offered up to me in a, how they offer up videos to you. And I was like, Mary did a blooper video? This ought to be good. And so I had to share it. I think we've all enjoyed that one, Mary. The dyslexic alphabet. Those fancy, I'll tell you what about those stamps and Mary getting confused about them. It's that fancy, not straight upright forward stamps like that can confuse you because I thought the one was what she thought it was. But then when she stamped it out, it wasn't an A. It was the B. It had that curly old top on it. can see where she got confused. I might have got confused too. What I did notice when she was doing it is they went in order. Like there was an E on one side and an F on the other. I did notice that. That might have kept some of the confusion down. Sometimes when they're fancy writing or script like that, I wish they'd give you a cheat sheet on, you know, the reverse side or something. Let's see here. Now these will need to be a little closer together. Took an unexpected nap. The cats force me to take naps sometimes. I'll get in the recliner. I'll be watching Mary or somebody, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up and Mary's saying goodbye. And I'm like, Tippy, how could you? I was watching Mary. Oh, that'd be awesome, Suze. Awesome. Thanks for putting the link up for Phibbsville. Hi, Joyce. A lot of times when I'm gluing things down like this, I'll put that wooden block on them and just leave them till they dry. That way I can be sure they're glued down and perfect. Oh, I hope there's enough in that. I was just thinking of my idea I want to do for the ATCs, and I'm hoping what I have in mind, I have enough of that stuff left in that pen. Let's see here. Where's my block? I do this other. I'm going to set these here with the block on them to hold it down. All right. While that sets up, I want to try something with one of these. Let's get one that's not got the moon at the very top. Let's try it on here. And I've got, oh no, the top came right off that. So that means it's probably not been sealed and it's probably been all dried out. Oh, not that, this. I don't know if this will work. You take your scraps and put them on black or a dark blue, and it just looks great. And it's just like an instant card. Now, if you wanted to add a sentiment on that, you could, maybe with a white Posca pen. If you've got really nice handwriting, you could just put just a note, or you could stamp something on the front of it. This is that the ART pen that's got the gold in it. I want to try something real quick here. Welcome to the group. This is gold. Gold. Oh, the sump pump's going, or the dehumidifier or something in the basement. If I squeeze on this too much, it'll dump a whole bunch of glittery bits on here. Whoa, like that. Well, it's flowing now. Stop. So now I got to think or find a quote that'll go with a moon on here. That one, I don't like it too much. And these you have to store like upright, because if you leave them on their side, that stuff just oozes out of them. It's really gross. All right, bye. I'm having fun playing with these, so I hope you guys don't mind hanging out just a little bit. I'm looking for something and I'm not finding it. Probably should clean my hands. Is this it? Yep. Stabilo all. All right. I'll go back to this one. I'm just going to put a little Stabilo all here and there on here like this. And then when you take your water brush, you can add a little bit of darkness here. Give it kind of a little shadow. Of course, if you wipe too much, then you got too much gone away. There we go. Thanks, Laura. I'm just adding basically a shadow to make the moon look like it's above the rest of the card is what I'm aiming for. I don't like that straight sticky line always liked to watch Packer Dye when she'd finish a collage and put the Stabilo all around her figures. Just seemed to lift them off the page. I haven't seen her do a video in a while. So I will go in search of a quote that'll go with these, and I'll put them on. And then I think I will clear coat these, so it'll take me a day or two to get them in the mail, but I will try to get these into the mail to folks that I have their address. So somebody will get a surprise. This one I might keep because it's the one with the funky shaped moon. Because the punch failed. Got just 2 more moons to go around, and then I'm going to finish the cards and sign off. Because I think I've been on here long enough, and everybody needs to go have some dinner before Sharon comes back on. And I think Dawn wanted to skinny on, if she hasn't already. And I hope Barb Owen is feeling better this week, because I was all set to watch her, and I saw she posted that she was not well. I don't know about the rest of you, but that coronavirus sounds scary. I've been watching the videos the CDC's been putting together. There's a lot they still don't know from the sounds of it. All right, so I'm going to set this back in this cup where I can find it easy. Okay, in Phibbsville. Okay. All right, I need to set these. Let me go wash my hands, because that's why I'm going to seal these, because that the glitter spray stuff, if I don't seal them, it'll be all over everything you own if I send you one of these. So let me go wash my hands, and then I'll come back, finish these cards, and get off from here. And I'm getting hungry myself. So we'll need to go get something to eat real quick. Sometimes it does smear, but I'm using that roller and I'm trying to move as quick. Now, sometimes I will actually hit them with a spray before I roll my clear coat on. So I might take these out and spray them. Usually when I spray, I use the Kmart varnish, Kmart spray varnish, non-yellowing, protection for oil, acrylic, and watercolors. Keeps a fresh from the palette look. Acid-free, allows easy rework, and free from impurities. So I might take this outside, spray these if it's above 50 degrees. I think it has to be above 50 degrees, but I do not want to spray, of course, in the house. And it dries in 15 minutes and is ready to handle after 2 hours. And you can recoat it anytime. But what I would do is wait the 2 hours and then hit it with my roll-on clear coat. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because it does, the Stabilo will move around. You're right about that. It will move around. So I'm just going to put these together with some double-sided tape, really quick like. Everything looks so blue down here, doesn't it? I'm actually got black cardstock here, but kind of looks navy in the camera. So I'll have to think up. And I might fancy these ATCs up. I have some really pretty purple feathers that might be pretty on there too, but I want to do the clear coating before I, add anything with dimension, of course. Spray it with Lysol. Oh, you're welcome, Sharon. Well, if you look at everything you buy in the store, almost everything that's in the store comes from China. So I think we all should have a slight worry about it. Have a wonderful evening, Sharon. All right, so this is the one. I want the card to open sideways on this one. So I'm going to put this on here. And the reason I only take the tape off part way is so I can like fiddle with it and get it as straight as possible. And it's got the adhesive in the middle that can grab. So we made 10 artist trading cards and 2 cards, and I've got enough here to do another card or 2. So this one will open like this. And I got a fingerprint on it. So whoever gets that one, that knows it's for me. If you get a postcard and it's upside down, when you turn it over, you know it's for me too. I do it all the time. Ask Mary. She's probably got a couple of my postcards where I've wrote oopsie on the back. I saw last night they said that it could have come from a crossover animal from bats, that it was passed from the bats to this almost extinct animal that's over there that they consume thinking that it has special medicinal properties. And the doctor I saw talking about it last night with Anderson Cooper, he said there's no scientific proof of any of that. It's just passed down for folklore. But I can't remember the name. Pangolins? Could that be is it look like a big lizard, Mina? A pangolin? That's what I saw last night when I was watching Anderson Cooper. We'll see if this one's got a blue fingerprint anywhere in it, like that other one. Let's see, this one will open this way. And the reason I like to do top opening cards where the fold is at the top is they stand up better and don't have a tendency of falling over. I mean, this one stands up okay. It's just, I like top folding cards the best. Because at Christmas, if your card is top folding, somebody can just put it over a line. Like I like to put all my Christmas cards on display, and the top folds are easier to display. Yes, that's a pangolin. That's the thing I was seeing last night. So I got a couple cards here. I might just leave them like that and just write a note inside. This still feels cool, so I know the glue is not completely dry. And you see that blue is coming off. I should have clear coated those, but that's all right. Not going to worry about it now. So I hope you guys had fun. I think I'm going to sign off and go get something to eat. And wait for Sharon to come on. I might put her on and just listen tonight because I need to clean up this mess around me. So thank you guys for stopping in. Take the sick right out. So I hope everybody had fun. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and we'll finish up our envelope journals, okay? Bye, guys.